Hi, everyone. Welcome to She Does, the podcast. I'm Gina, Joyce.
And Laura Muus.
And this is our first ever episode.
Wow.
We kind of can't believe it still that this whole thing has come to be. And we're so glad that you're here. Thank you for listening and following along. And we kind of just thought we'd share the origin story of not just She Does and the book and the podcast, but ourselves and kind of how this all came to be. So, I think you'll notice like these episodes are all very conversational and real. There's nothing scripted. We will ask some of our mompreneurs questions that we've kind of shared with them in advance so they can be prepared. But it's really meant to just feel like you're here in the room with us and we're having a fun chat. And hopefully there's something to be taken from every episode for everyone listening.
Absolutely. And we also want to make sure that you guys get to know who we are, how we all started, who are the people behind the businesses that you love here in Grand Marais, on the North Shore potentially, and why not Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And I think we also started this because we want other women out there to see that everything is possible, that you are capable of doing many things as well. Mm-hmm. And I think most importantly that you can also create this type of community where you are at. So thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm so excited to do our first podcast and share with others a little bit about you and me and how we started this amazing, amazing project.
Yeah. I think...
Should we show them the book?
Yeah, the book is first and foremost. So the book, by the time this episode airs... we will have just released our book, She Does, Words of Wisdom from North Shore Mompreneurs. And this has been a year in the making. Mm-hmm. We have an incredible community of women here in Cook County, Minnesota, the Grand Marais area, where we were able to reach out to at least 80 women.
Yeah.
And 38 of them were able to say, yes, I'd love to be a part of this. And so we spent the last 12 months capturing their stories, learning more about them, what inspires them, what they're proud of, and capturing their words of wisdom for you, what advice they might have for other women who are moms but also want to be entrepreneurs or are in the thick of things already. Mm-hmm. And I think the intent was really just how do we inspire others to show that motherhood and ambition can coexist. And it's been such a fun journey. We have done 80 photo shoots with the amazing Laura Muus. We have captured 1,200 minutes of interviews, and we drove 300 miles to capture all of it. And here we are. You know, it lives and breathes, and we're so excited to see it out in the world.
Absolutely, and we have already. We've been meeting with these women who are in the book and sharing with them a little bit of the process of it, right? And so other people as well. Mm-hmm. And what, how do I say this? Like the reaction or the emotion that we were hoping has been there. Like there have been tears of joy, tears of pride. Pride. Sorry. For those who don't know, I speak Spanish. So if you hear me say something that is not right, that's why. And that's the reason why I have an accent too. So we'll talk about that as well. But anyways, I think it's very fulfilling for both Gina and I to be doing this, to see that this is a way to celebrate stories, to encourage other people to do it, to, I think for you and for me too, like see our little girls, like get excited about this project, and my son too, of course. Mm-hmm. It just feels so, I don't know what word to use. Like we're doing the right thing, mm-hmm. Like
it's deeply meaningful.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
We now that the book is out there, we can share, more of what it looks like inside and the spreads, but
don't show too much because we want people to actually buy the book.
Right. But as we were editing and pulling it all together, I mean, my daughter, who's 4, mm-hmm. saw the spreads and the photos and all these women, and many of them are our friends. And she said, Mommy, that's our friends. They look so beautiful. And I lost it because they are, and they're doing beautiful things.
Absolutely.
And what woman doesn't deserve to be celebrated in that way? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we don't have, I have to say, we don't have all of the mompreneurs in our area and all the women in our area, but maybe that will be a next
volume.
Absolutely. I also think that it's so important to talk about the emotions that you and I had on our way to having these interviews and how we felt afterwards, like listening to the answers of people, their like stories and the things that they're proud of and what inspires them, and then crying together in the car because it was just, it honestly has been, I think, one of the most fun things I've done in my life. And it makes me happy to see that we are uplifting other people. And maybe we should also share with you guys why we, I mean, how it all started, but why we chose moms. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's, some people wonder why, and I think it's a very easy thing to answer, but I think we should start with how did the idea
come to be?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think a bit of the backstory. I'm originally from the Twin Cities, Minnesota. I grew up in Eden Prairie. Laura is from...
I'm from Lima. I'm from Peru.
And we both found our way to the North Shore at different times through different routes, but we both wound up here, and we both love it here. And we had kind of known each other through Instagram initially, because Laura's a photographer, and I had my shop, Roman Whimsy Co. in downtown Grand Marais, and so we knew each other there. But we finally met in person one day at a baby shower.
Yeah.
Stevie's baby shower. She's in the book.
Hi, Stevie. Thank you.
And then we saw each other again more often. There was a local women's creative retreat here that we both were at.
But also, we had worked together at that point. Before the retreat, Gina and Thomas had already purchased their cabins.
Timber and Tide
right now. I had been able to work with Gina and take photos of her family and also the cabins. And so I think that was, like one of the first interactions too that we had outside of, the baby shower. And
you're right.
And I want to also like make a pause there and just say that it's very common in our community to see a new business and for most people to just go ahead and like follow. Like you may not know who's behind this business, but it's just so exciting to have a new entrepreneur or a new service in our area that we just go ahead and we follow. And then we find out later on who is this person. And that's when we start like, connecting and gathering and like networking. And it's just amazing. So I didn't know who she was when I met her. I just followed her business. I thought it was cute. It was new. It was different. And then it just happened.
That point, like I think everybody, it's not like, oh, you're Gina. It's like, oh, you're Roman Whimsy, or oh, you're Timber and Tide, or oh, you're Laura Muus Photography. But we kind of knew each other, or know a lot of people here by the business first, and then the person.
Yes. So we met at the shower. We worked together, and then we went to this women's retreat. Yes.
So I think the retreat is where we really connected and realized we had a lot in common. We're both Latina, and we just, I don't know, something clicked right away.
Well, we are not from here, so I think that's another thing in common. We both have girls, which is great. And I think just, our personalities, we're actually different. We're opposites, but we work together really well. And I just feel like, I connected with different people at the retreat, but it was Gina, the one that I was like, oh, I want to hang out with her. I want to see her again. And that takes us to the day that you proposed the idea to me, because we went on a walk. I remember it was kind of like the warmest days. I want to say 30 degrees up here. We consider warm.
It was March of 25.
Yep. And I was ready to be outside. I have to say, when I moved here, I used to hate winter, and I used to be like just indoors all the time until snow melted. And there was a point in my life where I needed to just be outside constantly. And that was one of the days that I knew was going to be warm enough. So I wrote Gina and I was like, hey, how about we go on a walk? So we met at Java Muus. We grabbed a cup of coffee and we headed to Artists Point. And that's where I was sharing with Gina some of my frustrations and just feelings. And I like being honest about it, because I feel like there is a taboo. Like, no one wants to ever say I'm struggling or I'm not doing okay or I feel stuck or there's something in my life that doesn't feel like it's the right fit for me. And I think it's okay to say it because it makes us human. And I also feel like it doesn't make you ungrateful for the success that you have in your life, but it makes you feel like, hey, maybe there's something else out there for me that I just don't know about it yet. So in our first photo together that she wants to share, and I absolutely do not want to, I have puffy eyes because I had cried that day. And then we walked back to the cars. And what happened?
Yeah, I had been thinking the whole walk, like, I have this project idea and I really want to do it with Laura, and I don't know if she'd be interested. I don't know if this is the right time. And as soon as Laura had shared with me kind of where she was at, I was like, yeah, okay, this is going to happen. So we go back to the car and I said, okay, Laura, I've got an idea and I think it might lend well to where you're at. And I said, I want to do a book about the female entrepreneurs here, because I came from a very male-dominated corporate agriculture background. I used to work at Cargill. Among other agriculture companies. But I was so inspired. I have a note in my phone from 2023 that said, book idea about the female entrepreneurs and community and empowerment and lifting each other up. And so I told her, I'm like, do you want to do this book with me? I think it would be a beautiful coffee table book. You would take all the photos. We would do it together, as much or as little as you want to be a part of it. And your first comment was, I don't know. I've never thought about doing a book. Let me think about it. But if we do anything, it's got to be about moms. And I said, perfect. We'll do it. Mompreneurs.
Yes.
And
yes.
So like a week later, I said, okay, Laura, do you want to get coffee again and talk about this? Have you had enough time to think about it?
She did not give me enough time to think about it. And I'm so glad, because I feel like I would have found many excuses to say no. Like, I remember bringing up the idea of doing moms to me, and that takes back to the why we chose moms, was because I really wonder how women did it up here. There are so many successful stories of people that have already retired from business, or that are still in business with children that are already out of the house and have moved away. And I really wonder, how did they do all of that in such a remote place like Grand Marais? And I also feel like not only there is not enough recognition for the moms that work and, take care of the home or the children, but also I think it is important for the next generation to see that we are doing it.
Yeah.
That you don't have to choose. You don't have to give up on the idea of being a mom, or you don't have to give up on the idea of being having a career or a business owner. So I was like, it's got to be about moms. Let's celebrate these successful stories. And so I went back home feeling weird. And this is why I say we're very different. I feel anxious and I get stressed, and I have to actually sit down and take a deep breath. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is for me. I remember talking to my dad about it, and I was like, Gina proposed this idea, but I've never had making a book on my bucket list. Is that something I can say no to? And my dad was like, well, just think about it. I think it'd be really cool. And then I thought about, how amazing it would be to recognize all of the women here in our community and the impact that it was going to have on them and our little girls growing up, and just anybody. It's amazing to do this. So I was like, okay, I thought about the impact and I said I can't say no. But also in the back of my head, I was like, what if it doesn't go right? What if you and I don't get along well, or like a relationship or friendship gets hurt because of this? Like, there are so many things that could have gone wrong. But she didn't give me time to think about it. So we met again.
Overthinking is a thing too.
And I said, okay, tell me more about it. How are we going to do this? Like, who's printing? Are we self-publishing?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to organize the photos? Let me be clear, Gina. I have a very busy schedule from May through October. Are you sure we can do this? And here, my type A friend, project manager, she's like, I already have everything mapped out. This is what we're going to do. What do you think? And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And so I feel like for a lot of the things that we do together, you have to sell the idea to me in order to say yes. I am not, I can't say yes right away. I need my time to think about things. I need to process the idea, and I need to think about the result of it. So that's how She Does started. And I'm great.
I think I'm the kind of person that I wouldn't bring an idea to you or anyone unless I truly believed in it. Like I have that gut feeling that this is going to be something special. And so I'm so glad that you said yes and that we're equal parts of it, you know, co-founders, co-creators, co-owners of this amazing book, podcast, brand. And I'm really excited to see where it continues to go. You know, the podcast is already an evolution of the book because we realized just how many women had such awesome stories and even more to say than what we can capture on a page. And
absolutely.
And then something we've talked a lot about too, like everyone had their own unique advice and backgrounds and stories. But the one thing that came across in everyone's answers, we ask a question of what's your favorite part about living and working in Cook County, Minnesota. And nearly all of them said community. And I feel that. I didn't have that before moving here. I think once you find it, it's a very special thing to have and hold on to. And I hope that another thing that comes out of all of this is that women feel that community, whether they live here or they're following along, and that everyone can find community where they're at.
Or build it, right?
Yeah.
I think for me was the same thing, and it was almost shocking when I moved here and I started my own business, having the amount of people that would reach out to me and say, oh, you were referred by this person, and it was like Sarah Jorgensen at Java Muus or Kitty Mom or Emily Wick. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, all of these people that are in my community are sending people my way. And it almost felt like it was not competition. It felt like I am happy that you can be successful. And the way that I see it now is like, if your business is successful, then that is a win for me too. It's a win for our community. It's amazing. And we celebrate that together. And so I feel that was my answer too. I don't think if I ever moved away to another county or another city or another country even, I don't think I could find that here. That in Lake Superior. Yeah. So I'm just so happy that, you know, community is what brought us together as well, and that we are sitting together here talking about our book and all the plans that we have. And
so speaking of community, do we want to make a special announcement about the third aspect of She Does?
Are you ready?
Yeah. So with that community aspect in mind, we have a third component of She Does that we will be announcing right now to you first. Yeah. We are going to offer retreats. Yay. And we want, we want anyone who's been following along, whether you're from the area or not, whether you have kids or not, whether you have a business or not. If you are a woman who just wants to learn more or feel part of a community or build on that, we hope that these retreats will be for you. So the first retreat will be in November at the iconic Nana Bijou Lodge here in Grand Marais. And we're really thrilled.
Yes, we're very, very excited to invite you guys to be part of this. It will be our very first retreat, so believe it, I'm like anxious and stressed about it. But because I have a type A person here, I just feel like everything is going to be great. It's going to be so fun. You deserve this. We deserve it. It's just going to be amazing. And that's going to be the first one, but we are already talking about the second one, and I'm sure the third one will be coming soon. So if you do want to find out about all of the details, when it's happening, and be able to grab the first seats or like
Tickets,
first spots,
yeah.
tickets, whatever, sign up to our newsletter, because that will be the place that will get, like, everything will be out there first before social media or our website. So yeah, very, very exciting. And Gina, I wonder what else we're gonna do, because this is growing so quick, and it's just so reassuring too to see like the amount of people like seeing us in town and telling us, oh my gosh, you guys are doing this, it's so great. And but also like hearing the reaction from the women who are in the book, like it's just so, I don't know, inspiring to want to do more, you know?
Well, and we've heard from others across the state too, who haven't even seen the inside of the book. They've just seen the concept of what we're doing, and I think a really interesting piece that's come out of it is, hey, this is showing how much farther we can go when we collaborate rather than compete.
Correct.
And I think, like, you'll see in the book that there's artists, there's retailers, there's restaurants, there's outfitters. And some may look at all of that as, well, those are competing businesses, but we don't see it that way at all. It's kind of, what's the old saying, all boats rise, right? Like, we are lifting each other up and exposing each other and helping grow even more than any of us could have on a singular basis. And so I think that's a really special aspect that somebody pointed out, who has, like I said, hasn't even seen the inside of the book, but from afar they said, wow, this is really, really special that you're proving how female entrepreneurs are better together than competing apart.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Like I said, when somebody wins, that's a win for us too. And we're just happy to celebrate with them and cheer them on and like encourage them to keep going, because it's just amazing to see people at their prime, you know, like it's just, for me, it's like when I see your business is growing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for her. And then it's contagious, you know, like I'm like, okay, maybe I need to talk to Gina and hear from her what things she's doing, what has been successful for her. And almost no one or anyone will say, no, I cannot share that with you. Most people are like, absolutely. Let's grab a coffee. Let's sit down. Let me share with you these tools that I've been using, or this is a strategy that I've been
real world
trying.
Example. Half an hour ago, I said I needed help with my email letter, my e-newsletter for the cabins. And Laura said, I'll help you. I'll show you. Yeah. So yeah, that collaboration is really special too.
Absolutely. So what do we want to talk about now? What else do we want to share with people? Should we talk about a little bit about us, like how we came to the shore, what brought us here?
I think so.
Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Why don't you start, because you came here first.
Okay. Well, for those who don't know, I am from Lima, Peru. I had just mentioned that a little bit ago. I came here as an international student to work at Lutsen Mountains for 3 different winters. I came to Lutsen because my family, my cousins, and my brother had been here before to work at the ski hill during the winter season, which is our summer break. And I remember my brother mentioning to me, because I actually wanted to go to Montana or Utah or even Colorado instead of coming here and not do everything that my family had done before. My brother said, people in Minnesota are nice, and I know they will take care of you. People are just so kind and generous, and I know so many people in Lutsen and Grand Marais that I know if something ever comes up, if you need anything, they will be there for you. So I really had no choice. Let's be honest. I really had no choice. I had to come to Lutsen. And I remember the first day arriving in Minneapolis and feeling the very cold winter. I literally was welcomed by a snowstorm when I arrived. Like driving from Duluth, I remember the person who picked me up said, come on, we got to rush, because I was like buying groceries in Target. And he's like, we got to rush. We got to go because we're going to be hit by a blizzard. And I was like, what does that even mean? You know, like I knew English, but I didn't know certain words. So anyways, it was very shocking for me to move to a very remote area. And I remember saying, yes, this is not for me. Never coming back. This is it for me. Like I will finish my exchange program and then I'll go back home and then I will try a different place next time. But life and its surprises. I met my husband halfway or almost towards the end of my program, and we did the long distance for a couple of years. And so I kept coming back as an international student, and then finally we both decided that it was time to get married, and I moved to Grand Marais in 2016. So I will actually be celebrating 10 years on the North Shore in August 21st.
That's amazing.
I know, it's crazy because I feel like I have been here for not that long, but it's been that long. And anyways, I worked for many businesses. Like I could make you a long list, including Sven and Olis, the Gunflint Tavern. I worked for Voyager.
Trading Post.
Brewing, Lake Superior Trading Post, Cascade Vacation Rentals, Lutz and Mountains, so many places. And I absolutely loved it. But once I had my child, the first one is when I realized I kind of want to break the pattern here, and I want to create a career that will allow me to be a present mom. And I feel like, just gonna share this with you, my mom was the opposite. My mom was the mom that wanted to prove herself that she could have a career. And unfortunately, because of the economy that we had back then, my mom had to work so much. And as a child, you know, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm so happy, so grateful that we were able to have the opportunities that she and my dad gave us. But I was like, yeah, I actually want to be more present with my children, but I don't want to give up the idea of doing something for myself. So that's when I created my photography business, and it's been so successful, and I'm so thankful for the people that have worked with me, for those who have recommended me and that have been part of this growth. But yeah, we stayed here. My husband is from here. He was born and raised here, and let's be honest, he never wants to leave Grand Marais. So I also had no choice. And I have to say that I had to start my career because I was struggling being up here. I'm from a big city. I'm from Lima. I'm so used to walking places and having everything like within 5 minutes, and coming to a very remote space, I was like feeling a little bit lost. And after having my first child, dealing with postpartum, I was really, really having a tough time finding myself, finding a sense of place.
And for anyone who maybe has not been here, to give a sense of the remoteness, we're 2 hours from the nearest Costco. So,
and 5 hours from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My husband owns a grocery store, by the way. So
Johnson's Foods.
Yeah. But sometimes it's fun to go to other places and, you know, find stuff that we can't have access to here in Grand Marais. But yeah, so I felt a little bit lost, and I was like, I really don't know how to find myself. I was doing photography at the time, but I wasn't really putting myself out there. And I remember meeting Katie Mom, Emily Wick, Emily Running now, and Britt Zeroth, and being inspired by them to embrace the outdoors. And so that's when I realized that I could combine the outdoors and photography, and how that has been so good for my mental health and my emotions. So that was what I needed. And, you know, sometimes I have to be honest, sometimes I do feel like a little bit stuck because unfortunately we deal with seasonality here. So winters can be very slow, but that's when you count on friends. That's when you rely on getting together with family and with friends and having play dates or doing egg hunt activities and different things. But that's how my story is up here, and I'm just so grateful that people welcomed me into that community and that have been part of this successful story. And I'm just, you know, so inspired to continue growing, and I'm so glad that Gina proposed this idea of the book, and we're doing all of this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. It's been so
thank
fun.
you.
And we're a good team.
Yes.
Me, I'm from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and I'd actually never been to the North Shore. Well, I'd been to the North Shore, but I'd never been to Grand Marais until 2020. My husband and I came for the first time and immediately said, "Wow, this is a special place, and we will end up here." But we kind of with the thought of maybe when we retire. So we fast forward 2 years later. We had both been working careers in corporate, and I had our daughter, and at the end of maternity leave, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to go back. I don't want to take time away for what I felt was not worth it. It wasn't a position that I had wanted to come back into, and the whole corporate typical thing. So instead, I got kind of this rush of creativity that came back after having her, and I started to play around with ideas of, can I start a small business, and what does that look like? And like Laura said, I'm a project manager by training. My background is actually animal science and pre-vet. So I instead of going to vet school, I went into the industry. I worked for animal nutrition companies my entire corporate career, most recently Cargill, and then left to start my own thing. I initially started with a couple different ideas like mini cafe and Murray Maid, and with any entrepreneurship journey, there were a lot of pivots, and we had an opportunity to actually buy a cabin in Grand Marais, and we jumped at the chance, and that cabin is now our home. I was on city council at the time in the town we were living in, the cities, and we would do 2 weeks here and 2 weeks there and 2 weeks and 2 weeks, and it was all around the council schedule. And we quickly realized we were missing out on more here than we were there, and so that was kind of the last reaffirming piece that we needed to say, yep, we want to live here. So I finished my council term because I wanted to honor my commitment. And then we sold everything in the cities. And our cabin's now our home. We have no dishwasher. We have one bathroom. And I love it. It's a simplified lifestyle, and it's so much richer.
Yeah.
It just is.
Hey, but you are within distance to downtown Grand Marais.
Yeah,
so
we are.
That's a plus.
We are in town, and we get to walk everywhere, which is amazing. And then we had the opportunity to expand the business. So I opened my shop once we knew we would be moving here. I had a cute little whimsical trailer built and named it Roman Whimsy Co. And it's now in downtown Grand Marais.
Where exactly?
We just moved it. So for this third season, it'll be between the Sweetwater Clothing Boutique and the Hub, right across from the ice cream shop, conveniently. So get your ice cream and come stop at the shop.
And the donut shop, too.
And the donut shop, yeah. We're going to have a lot of treats this summer. But in addition to that, we had the opportunity to look at these cabins. So this property that we're sitting in, we have named the Tide Cabin because Lake Superior is right here. And right across the street from us is the Timber Cabin. So we are on Croftville Road, which is a beautiful little charming walking road, as they call it. And so that expanded our business. So we had Roman Whimsy Co., Timber and Tide Cabins. We added another cabin up the trail, Mid Gunflint Trail on Poplar Lake. And now she does. And I just think it's such an awesome journey. And one of my quotes in the book is, never say never and never say forever. Because had we done that, I thought the house we had in the cities was our forever home. I thought I'd be in corporate America my whole life. And here we are with a life that's so much richer than I could have even
imagined,
planned. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Likewise.
Yeah. She is a rock star. I really don't know how she does it. I am not a type A person. I'm sorry to disappoint some people, but she is like on top of everything, and she's got so many businesses and everything is going so well. So I'm like, gosh, Gina, I am so amazed. I don't know how you do it, but good for you. It's contagious too. It's
day at a
contagious.
time.
Yeah, I think it's fun to talk about your quote because my quote also talks a little bit about how I am. You know, mine was, she does it with fear, but she does it anyways. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, I was like anxious and stressed about the idea of signing up for, you know, this project. And I was scared that things wouldn't go well. I was scared about this too. I was scared about the retreat. But hey, I am here.
You're doing
I am doing it. I am anxious, but I'm doing it anyways. And
I'm proud of you for saying yes to
Thank
things
you.
that scare you and doing it anyway.
it's hard to get out of your comfort zone. Like, yeah. But it also feels amazing at the end of the day when you're like, gosh, I did it.
Look what I did.
Yeah. And I think, you know, for you and for me, like our kids are watching us do these things, and I really hope that when they're older, they look at us and be like, wow, we had like rock stars as moms, and I'm so inspired, you know, by them, and like gotta keep going. So yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's also like, I mean, the age-old saying, you never work a day in your life if you do something you love. Like,
Right?
we're doing what we love.
And this is
how
having
lucky.
fun.
Yeah.
We're having a good time talking to, you know, different women, learning their stories, capturing their photos. Like, they're having so many people that are like, oh my gosh, I look so good, or look at our family. You know, like, to me, that is a win too, to like show people how I see them, how we see them, highlight their stories, celebrate that. I think it's fun. It doesn't feel like we're working unless we are doing all the back end planning and stuff like that, which can be stressful.
And we should, like, I do want to highlight, like, it's not all butterflies and rainbows, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want any of this to be like the highlight reel. You know, there is a lot of work that goes into everything that we're doing and these women are doing behind the scenes. And that was the impetus for all of it, to celebrate what they're doing, even though you don't see the nitty gritty everyday behind the scenes work that goes into making this happen.
Absolutely. And I think also when we are doing the podcasts, we are asking really honest and raw questions that, you know, we want people to be just human, be real about the, you know, issues, the struggles that we can have as moms or business owners. Because I think in, you know, at the end of the day, we don't want, like you said, we don't just want to celebrate or show you the pretty things of everything. We also want you to feel like what you are going through or what you're feeling right now is completely validated. Like, it happens to her, it happens to me, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Whether it's imposter syndrome, mom guilt, like, that's a real feeling, and we all feel it sometimes. And I think part of the podcast especially is kind of breaking that stigma and saying, like, it's okay to talk about it and learn from it and move on from it and deal with it as it comes. So, yeah. Anything else?
I'm like,
We're
okay,
real good at chatting.
What are we going to talk about now? Okay, we're having a good time here, but like, what other things do we want to share with people about this project? Do we...
I think a couple things. We just shared the retreat. With the podcast, our plan is we'll launch 3 episodes right away, and then 1 per week. And each week it'll be a different mom that's featured in this first volume of the book. Behind the scenes, we are working really hard to start volume 2. Surprise.
So if you know of a woman-owned business, and we don't want to just do Grand Marais / Cook County, we wanna hit the North Shore, right?
Duluth on up.
Please do let us know. Fill out a contact form on our website. Let us know who you want to highlight, why we should highlight this person. Not that it matters, but it's kind of sweet to maybe bring that up to the person that you're highlighting, why we are contacting her, who was the person that thought about her. We want to celebrate more stories, and we started with moms, but this second volume is going to be women-owned businesses. So it would be amazing if we could highlight your story, meet with you, learn more about you, capture your photos in your business setting, and just share with the world the talents that you have and, you know, how successful your story is. And what else? What else do we want to say about Volume 2?
I think you covered Volume 2 pretty well. There is another fun little side project that will come out of the first volume. I won't give away too much, but it will be called She Does Nourish. So let you guess what that is.
Yeah. So again, if you do want to find out, be the first one to find out about all of these surprises, announcements, please do sign up to our newsletter because you'll be the first one to know there.
Anything else?
I think we cover pretty much everything. I think this has been really fun. I hope people are enjoying and having a great time. If you do have questions for us, if you do want to ask things to us, please just do. You can reach out to us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is She Does Mindset. And we would love to, at some point, do another recording of just Gina and I and go over your questions.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to us. And we're just going to keep growing. We're just getting started, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Got lots of ideas. Hold on. Well, thank you again. This has been the first ever episode of She Does the Podcast. And please follow along for more each week. Till then, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.